Hello everyone, and welcome to another video and another episode of the Watch Pile. Episode 41, I think. Not quite sure. Getting on up there now. Quite a few picked this week actually. And quite a nice variety as well, if I do say so myself. So I'll go through the picks and I will try my best to remember who picked what. Because the more titles there are, the more likely it is that I'm going to forget, even though I've literally just checked the comments to try and remind myself. So yeah, we'll just get straight on and I'll show you what has been picked this week. First off is Giz's pick of the week, and Giz has gone with Courage Under Fire, Denzel, Meg Ryan, a small performance from Matt Damon, I think, Lou Diamond Phillips, Bronson Pinchot, Scott Glenn, music by James Horner, and it's directed by Edward Zwick. He's a decent director. About an officer that's asked to review the posthumous candidacy of the first woman to receive a Medal of Honor. I won't read the rest. I love Denzel, so no brainer there. Next up, I think this was Stephen Taylor's pick, I think. Could be wrong though. Nocturnal Animals. It's one I've seen before, probably I think when it came out, which is going on 9 years now. So at the time I was 14, so I can't remember anything about this now. So it's one that needs a rewatch. Amy Adams, my guy Jake Gyllenhaal. It's a Tom Ford film as well. Thriller of sorts from memory. But yeah, like I said, I can't really remember anything about it. So yeah, there's that one. We then have this one, which both Tom and Pete picked. Pete picked two, so I'll say the other of Pete's choices in a minute. And that is a Carl Franklin film, another Denzel film, Devil in a Blue Dress. I think it's a noir film. Yeah, private detective Easy Rawlins has been caught on the wrong side of the most dangerous secret in town. So I love these sorts of films, and it's one that I've been saying I need to get onto for quite a while. Also stars Tom Sizemore, Jennifer Beals, and Don Cheadle, and music by Elmer Bernstein. So yeah, good stuff there. So yeah, that's Devil in a Blue Dress. We then have Ash's pick of the week, which is Couples Retreat. I suppose it's going to be an easy sort of comedic watch. Whether it's going to be one that I watch and think, oh yeah, I'll watch that again. I mean, it's got a good comedic cast. Vince Vaughn, Jason Bateman, Jon Favreau, Kristen Davis, Malin Ackerman, Kristen Bell, Jean Reno. It's like Faison Love's in there as well, although he is credited on the back but not on the front. Oh wow, didn't even know that. Directed by Peter Billingsley, who, if I'm not mistaken, is the kid from A Christmas Story, although I've never seen it. I think he did go on to like become a producer and all that later on, if it's the same guy. So yeah, that's Couples Retreat. Then Stuart has gone with Supergirl. I don't know what I'm going to make of this. The trailer looked awful, if I'm being honest with you, but it's got a really good cast. I mean, you've got Faye Dunaway, Helen Slater, Peter O'Toole, Simon Ward, Mia Farrow. Yeah, good cast. Brenda Vaccaro as well. Music by Jerry Goldsmith. So I might like it. Who knows? It could be one that I really enjoy, but it might also be one that I think is quite dated now. That's Supergirl. Next up is Paul's pick of the week, and Paul has gone with Letters to Juliet, a rom-com right up my street, with Amanda Seyfried. You've got Vanessa Redgrave, Franco Nero, so husband and wife there. Christopher Egan, not familiar with him, and Gael Garcia Bernal, who's a decent actor. And yeah, I don't know too much about this other than that it's clearly a rom-com. So yeah, that one could be a pleasant surprise. And then Pete also picked this one, as did Tony, and that is the original Village of the Damned from 1960. Who's in this one? It does say on the front, George Sanders and Barbara Shelley, with Michael Gwynn, whoever that is. I know the basic premise of it. All about the kids go a bit mad, because I believe they did remade it obviously in the 90s. John Carpenter remade it, and then they've remade it again since, and it was called the Midwich Cuckoos, which was a TV series on Sky going back a few years. I watched the first episode of that but couldn't get into it, but I've heard this is a classic, so I'm sure I would enjoy this one. And then the final pick of the week is from Roy, and Roy has gone with Junebug, one that I believe he watched fairly recently, and he'd seen it before and really liked it, and he rewatched it and he didn't like it as much, but it's one that I'm pretty sure he knows is going to be right up my street, with Amy Adams, Embeth Davidtz, Alessandro Nivola, who was in a film I just watched actually. Two films I've watched over the last. I watched a film with him in. Well, it's just finished before I finished recording, and one on Sunday. So, seen a lot of him recently. Yeah, a little indie comedy drama, I think, by the looks of it. See, that one could be a pleasant surprise as well. So we're going to do as normal. I'll take Village of the Damned out the case. Junebug I'm taking out and I'm replacing with the artist. So if the artist's picked, then that of course means that it's Junebug. We're just going to start shuffling them. Give it a proper good shuffle. Don't want anything to be left to chance. Well, it is all chance, I suppose. I'm just going to go for this one, which is Nocturnal Animals. Okay, so looks like I'll be watching Nocturnal Animals. I do remember this being quite a rough watch from memory. Like I said, it's been a while. It's also got Aaron Taylor-Johnson, Michael Shannon, Isla Fisher, Armie Hammer. Good supporting cast there. Michael Sheen, Andrew Riseborough, Laura Linney. Yeah, really good supporting cast there. But like I said, it's been such a long time since I've watched it. I can't remember anything about it. So it'd be good to give it a rewatch and kind of refresh myself on it. See if it's one that is worth staying in the collection or not. So yeah, so I will stick Nocturnal Animals on now, and I will come back to you once it's finished and give you my thoughts on it. So I just got done watching Nocturnal Animals, and yeah, this is an odd film, very odd film. It's definitely, it's two different films in one, I think is the easiest way to describe it. You've got like sort of a drama going on, one story throughout the film, which is the real things that are happening. It's basically about Amy Adams' character. I suppose she's like an artist, and she's not very happy in her marriage to Armie Hammer. She's been thinking about her first husband, played by Jake Gyllenhaal, quite a lot, and one day she gets a manuscript of his novel in the post and starts reading it, and that's where like sort of the second story kicks off. And for me, I would much have preferred if they'd have gone with one or the other. The second story, which is his story that he's written, in which he plays the lead character, Jake Gyllenhaal, is more of a thriller, but it's quite hard to watch at times. It's about family. They're just going on a trip. It doesn't specify where, I don't think. And they basically get run off this road by these three horrible young men, led by Aaron Taylor-Johnson. Very harrowing experience ensues. And then from there, it sort of becomes like a revenge tale of sorts. I'm not going to go into it fully. And obviously you've got Amy Adams while she's reading this, kind of looking back on her marriage. You do get some flashbacks to when she first sort of fell in love with Jake Gyllenhaal's character. And she sort of thinks what could have been. Like, does she regret it? Like leaving him, that sort of thing. yeah, it's a very, like I said, odd is the best way to describe this film. I'm not too sure what to think of the ending. I don't know if I would say it's a satisfying ending. Um, it's kind of one that I'd have to sit on for a bit to kind of give my thoughts on, because it just kind of, you're expecting something to happen and for it to then end, and the thing you're expecting to happen doesn't happen and it just ends. And I was a bit like, oh, I would have thought this would happen and it didn't. But yeah, very interesting film this was. Like I said, I couldn't remember anything about it, which is good, because if there's a film in my collection I don't remember anything about, then it's probably worth giving another watch. And I'm glad I did with this one. I'll keep it in the collection because I enjoyed it. Like I said, it's very hard in parts. Some violence, not too much violence, but there is some violence. It's more graphic in a sexual nature. There are things that are quite hard to watch and look at in that respect. There's even a jump scare that got me that I didn't see coming. I didn't expect it to happen. It just kind of happened out of the blue. Don't really know the meaning of that, but again, like I said, it's a very old film, very quirky. Lots of different actors pop up for like 5 minutes and then they're gone. They've got no other purpose within the story. I'm talking about like Laura Linney, Michael Sheen, Andrea Riseborough, Jenna Malone pops up. She's in it for all of 3 minutes or something. Yeah, it was good. Like I said, it's on the back. It's described as a romantic thriller. There's not a lot of. It's more thriller than romance, I would say. There are romantic elements to the story, but it's more of a thriller drama, I would say. Yeah, Tom Ford's definitely an interesting filmmaker. I have still got A Single Man to watch, which I've heard good things about. But I'd be interested to like sort of see what he decides to do next, because this was different. This wasn't what I was expecting, but not in a bad way at all. Definitely enjoyed this one, and yeah, I might leave it like another 9-10 years before I go back to it again, because maybe at that point it'll have left my memory again, and I'll appreciate it as much as I did on this rewatch. So yeah, that's this week's pick, Nocturnal Animals, and I do need to take the CEX stickers off at some point. Right, we're back on to shelf number 2 this week, which I should have filled up beforehand, but I didn't. So there's a few empty gaps, but that's not to worry. Let's flip the camera out to choose from. So on the edge we have all of these. I mean, I think I might have to exclude Army of Darkness because it's technically the third Evil Dead film, but I know you can you watch this before the first two? You'd have to let me know. So I'm going to exclude the first Police Academy because I've seen that a few times now. I've said this before, so it would be the second one that I would watch. And Family Plot's excluded from that set because I've seen it, but I haven't seen any of the others. Obviously, first two Final Destinations are excluded as well because I've seen them, both in Watch Pile episodes, I think. Going up here. I know what Stuart's going to pick already. Don't even need to ask him. And A Nightmare on Elm Street's excluded because I have, of course, seen that before. Going on the edge. Let's see if I can get a good angle. There we go. Not too many excluded this week. Let me know what you're going to pick for the for next week's episode. It should be normal next week on Wednesday. Yeah, I should be. No, I tell a lie. I'm at the cinema Tuesday and Wednesday next week, so I will be. I'll have to record it next Thursday. So the next one will be next. I'll record it Thursday. It'll go up next Friday at some point. So I'll have to put something else up on next Wednesday instead, one of my pre-recorded videos. And weekly watches this week will be probably Monday night stroke Tuesday at some point, because I'm away for the weekend. So I won't be able to record it until I get back, obviously. But still be here. I'll probably do it before the live stream like I did this week. I'll just record it when I get home from work and then upload it straight away. But yeah, I'm going to get this one put together now and ready for tomorrow. But yeah, let me know what you're going to pick, what you vote for next week's episode. And as I've done this week, I shall pull it out for you and randomly pick one of them at random to watch. I don't know when, but at some point I'm going to go back, because it's been a while now, to trying to watch the other ones that people have picked for before we get back round to that shelf again. I don't know when I'm going to start doing that, because obviously at the moment I'm sort of focusing on horror films. That'll be until sort of the end of October. And then November, December, I sort of start watching Christmas films. So that might be a New Year thing now, or an in and out thing if I get the chance to watch some of them. But that's it for this video. Let me know your thoughts on Nocturnal Animals down below if you've seen it. If you like the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Turn your notification bell on so you know when I have a new video uploaded to the channel. Comment down below anything and everything. As you know, I always take the time to get back to anyone that leaves me a comment, because I really do appreciate it. And that is it. So until next time, everyone, take care. Goodbye.